In the heart of the bustling city of Ravenbrook, where the noise never seemed to die down and the streets were always filled with people, there lay an old, nearly forgotten bookshop. Tucked away in a narrow alley, Thornhill Books had an air of mystery about it. The wooden sign above the door creaked in the wind, and the small, dusty windows gave little hint of the treasures within. Detective Eliza Hart had always been drawn to such places. On a rare day off, she found herself wandering into Thornhill Books, hoping to lose herself in the smell of aged paper and leather bindings. As she browsed the shelves, her fingers brushed against a worn, leather-bound journal hidden behind a stack of thick tomes. Intrigued, she pulled it out and blew off the dust. The journal's cover was cracked and faded, and its pages yellowed with age. It had an undeniable allure. Eliza took it to the counter, where the elderly shopkeeper, Mr. Thornhill himself, squinted at her through his glasses. "Found something interesting, I see," he said in a gravelly voice. "Yes, this old journal. It looks like it has a story to tell," Eliza replied. Mr. Thornhill's eyes twinkled with a hint of mischief. "Oh, that one. It belonged to a local writer who vanished many years ago. People say it's cursed, but I think it's just an old book waiting for the right person to read it." Eliza smiled, paid for the journal and tucked it into her bag. Little did she know, this old book would lead her down a path filled with secrets, danger, and a mystery that had remained unsolved for decades. That evening, Eliza sat in her cozy apartment with a cup of tea, flipping through the journal's pages. The handwriting was elegant, with entries dating back to the 1920s. The journal belonged to a man named Arthur Graves, a writer who chronicled his life in great detail. Eliza was particularly drawn to the later entries, which spoke of strange occurrences and fears for his safety. May 15, 1923. "Something sinister is afoot. I feel it in my bones. Shadows follow me, even in the brightest daylight. I fear for my life, but I must uncover the truth. I cannot let this darkness consume our town." May 30th, 1923. "I've hidden the clues where only the clever will find them. My safety is uncertain, but the truth must prevail. To whoever finds this journal, follow the path I have laid. Unveil the secrets that threaten to destroy us all." She realized that many of the unsolved crimes in the city's history could be linked to this mysterious figure. One entry detailed a hidden room in the basement of the old Ravenbrook Library, a place long since abandoned. Arthur mentioned a key hidden in a hollow tree in the park across from the library. Eliza decided to follow his lead. Under the cover of night, Eliza ventured into the park. She found the hollow tree exactly where Arthur described it. Inside, wrapped in oilcloth, was an old iron key. Heart pounding, she made her way to the library. The building was dark and imposing, its windows like black eyes staring down at her. She picked the lock on the side door and slipped inside, flashlight in hand. The basement was a maze of dusty shelves and forgotten relics. Eliza's breath echoed in the stillness as she searched for the hidden room. Finally, she found a door concealed behind a rotting bookshelf. The key fit perfectly, and with a creak, the door swung open. Inside, the room was filled with old documents, photographs, and a large map of Ravenbrook with various locations marked in red. It was a treasure trove of information that Arthur had collected, evidence of the benefactor's influence and crimes. Eliza realized that Arthur had been close to exposing the truth before he disappeared. As she pored over the documents, she felt a presence behind her. Turning quickly, she saw nothing but shadows. Her instincts told her she wasn't alone. She quickly gathered as much evidence as she could and left the library, her mind racing with questions and fear. The following days were a blur. Eliza analyzed the evidence, connecting the dots between past and present crimes. She discovered that the benefactor's legacy had been passed down through generations, with the current figurehead being a prominent businessman in Ravenbrook, Victor Hawthorne. Eliza's investigation didn't go unnoticed. She started receiving threatening messages and felt like she was being watched. Determined to bring the truth to light, she enlisted the help of her trusted friend and journalist, Mark Davis. Together, they planned to expose Victor Hawthorne and his The authorities moved quickly, arresting Victor Hawthorne and his associates. Eliza stood on the steps of the courthouse, watching as justice finally caught up with those who had evaded it for so long. She felt a sense of fulfillment and relief. Arthur Graves' legacy was honored, and his journal had served its purpose. As the sun set over Ravenbrook, Eliza returned to Thornhill Books. Mr. Thornhill greeted her with a knowing smile. "I see you found your story," he said. "Yes, and so much more," Eliza replied. "Thank you for leading me to the journal." "Some stories are meant to be told," Mr. Thornhill said, "and some people are meant to tell them." Eliza left the bookshop with a renewed sense of purpose. She knew there were more mysteries to uncover and more stories to tell. As she walked away, she couldn't help but feel that this was just the beginning of her journey. And in a way, it was. For in the shadows of Ravenbrook, other secrets lay waiting to be discovered, and Eliza Hart was ready to find them.